Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, time for the history and mystery of the Bloody Mary on the Old Humble Bloody Mary Happy Hour. Get your cocktails ready. God knows I've done the work to get my cocktail ready. Yeah. But we're going to enjoy this delightful treat in just a few minutes. Technical stuff is up and running properly. Should have done this 5 minutes ago, but you know what I didn't do? This. I do need to get some ice. Give me one second. The Astros win 8-5. Let's get the game. I'm sorry. Let's get the show started.
A little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink humble. Old Humble Straight Whiskey and Old Humble Special Reserve. deserve. Get yours today.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, get your cocktails on. It is time for the Old Humble Distilling Company's Bloody Mary Happy Hour, a one-of-a-kind edition of our Whiskey Wednesday Happy Hour. I am the Old Humble guy. I make whiskey. I make and sell delicious whiskeys. Here they are. Turn on my hippie lamp. Here's my delicious whiskeys. We have our straight whiskey, Double Oak Rye, Boomtown Bourbon, Special Reserve, and another bottle of our straight whiskey over here. You can find our whiskeys online, oldhumbledistilling.com/shop online. Order 2 bottles and use the discount code MAKEIT2, and it will be delivered to your door without any charges for shipping. All you got to do is pay for the whiskey. I cover the shipping. But that's not what I want to talk about tonight. What I'm going to talk about tonight is the Bloody Mary, the history and mystery of the Bloody Mary, to be specific. But we'll get to that in about 5 or 10 minutes. I want to give people a chance to show up to the show following the Astros game. The Astros beat the Arlington Rangers. The Houston Astros beat the Arlington Rangers 8-5. 8-5 being the final score of the Astros Arlington Rangers baseball game. Astros versus Arlington Rangers baseball game. I'm setting my Zoom on my chat box real quick. I forgot to do that. Got that fixed. Okay. And that game literally just ended. That's kind of what accounted for the delay. Because I was watching my beloved Astros. My sunglasses tonight are that now. Also, a big shout out to William Hall, who was the winner. William Hall was the winner last week of our gift box. Our gift box being the sample box. And as you can see, William, I haven't put it in the mail yet. But it will be going in the mail hopefully this week. I've been ridiculously busy doing tastings and the build out at the distillery. But as you can see, this box has inside of it sample bottles of whiskey, 5 sample bottles of whiskey. Oh, but you showed us 4 bottles of whiskey there on the shelf behind you, Old Humble guy. That's right. I wonder what that 5th bottle could be. Oh, it's a mystery. It's a mystery bottle. Something a little bit more, what would you say? High octane than the stuff that goes in the bottles over here. It's a little bit unfinished, but it's a little bit higher strength. So there you go. And I'll tell you more about that, but it also has a pair of our biohazard shades and a cigar that goes well with the whiskeys. So enjoy William Hall. That will be coming to you soon. Another big shout out to our other member. We have 2 members currently, William Hall and Mr. Jiggs. Big shout out to both of you guys. Y'all are super fans. I appreciate the support and love. Thank you so much. Throughout today's show, you will be able to influence you'll be able to influence the way the show goes using super chats and super thanks. I don't know how the super thanks works. I haven't recorded anything. I haven't done anything for the super thanks. I just turned those on. But the super chats, you post up a super chat, I will say what you post. I will Ron Burgundy that 100%. And your super chats go to the front of the line. After I'm done with the tasting and review for this abominable cocktail that we are doing today, I will switch over to our overnight format, our chat format, and I will read every single chat that has been posted until I get to the end of the line. When I get to the end of chat, then the show's over. The goal is around midnight, 1 o'clock. I have to get up in the morning. I have work to do in the morning because I am a business owner who makes and sells whiskey, who has a YouTube channel. I'm not a YouTuber who makes whiskey. I'm a whiskey man who makes YouTube channel stuff. And also, big shout out, big thanks to our 2,430, I think it's 33 subscribers that we have right now. Let me check that number. See what the real number is. Is it 32 subscribers that we have right now? Big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and being subscribers and watching the videos, watching the shorts, watching, participating in chat and all the other stuff that y'all do. Y'all are, I mean, a lot of people say this, but I really, really mean it. Y'all are the ones who kind of drive the content, drive the channel, drive what it is that I do, because my goal with this channel is to have exposure for the brand and share the brand with as many people as possible through entertaining videos and entertainment in general. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to spread the word about our delicious elixirs as well as entertain folks. As uh, and sometimes I'm more successful at one than I am at the other. So if you're in chat, say hi. If you're in chat, say hi. If you are stopping by and just visiting, let me know. And I'm trying to get things sorted um, on my screen here so I can. There we go. That's what I'm trying to do. I have. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. Right there. Right there. I'm trying to get. There's like two data points that I'm trying to see on my screen at the same time, and I think I've got them. So there we go. All right. So let's talk about the Bloody Mary. I have never despised a drink more in my life than I have the Bloody Mary. I've never had a good one. I'm not gonna lie. I find the Bloody Mary to be a drink born out of regret and bad decisions. It's an alleged hangover cure, which is not a hangover cure because there's no such thing as a hangover cure. And that's probably my first beef that I have with the Bloody Mary. It's billed as a hangover cure. It's tomato juice, which is vitamins and minerals and nutrients, along with vodka, which is hair of the dog. Uh, Hair of the dog that bit you. You got your vodka, and tonight I'm using Grand 79 vodka. This is a vodka that we actually produce at the distillery, at the Old Humble Distilling Company. We distill this. It says it right here on the back. Distilled in Humble by the Old Humble Distilling Company. So we make that vodka. Shout out to me. But you know what? I didn't do my opening shot, and I need to do my opening shot. So cheers to all you fine folks out there. Opening shots are important. And I'm having my Boomtown Bourbon, which is our premium bourbon, available online, oldhumbledistilling.com/shop online, or Total Wine, Specs. Ask for it in Zips. Those fine people haven't picked it up yet. But ask for it in Zips. Make them feel bad about it. Cheers. There we go. All right. So, I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. Make it a little easier for me to see more data points because I want more data points. All right, so here we are. Let's talk about the Bloody Mary. Before I start crapping on the drink, let's talk about the history of the Bloody Mary. The Bloody Mary, let me open up my notes page here so I can read everything that I had noted about the Bloody Mary. The Bloody Mary was invented in the early 20th century. 1920, 1930s, somewhere in that neighborhood, there were various variations of it. Oops, I just dropped my phone. There were various variations of the Bloody Mary made, and the original Bloody Mary developed in France by one gentleman named, what's his name? By a gentleman with a French name. I think it was Perrault. Where is it? Where's his name? I had his name written down. The French bartender Ferdinand Petiot. Petois. Ferdinand Petois. Petoiot. Petois. Ferdinand Petois developed a drink which was literally just tomato juice and vodka. Tomato juice, by the way, is disgusting. Tomato juice and vodka. And this was a popular drink had by folks like Ernest Hemingway and other expats who were spending time in France, doing their writing and being all bougie and whatnot, as was the custom in the early 1920s. And over time, it was modified and developed until it made its way over to Harry's New York Bar. I'm sorry, the New York Bar in Paris later became Harry's New York Bar. It made its way across the pond into New York. For what it's worth, it was also called the Bucket of Blood while it was in Paris. New York's 21 Club was the next place where it pops up in the early 1930s, late 1920s. The bartender Harry something Polish, started mixing Bloody Marys and started adding herbs and spices to it. The salt and pepper and Tabasco, or cayenne pepper is what he did. Um, he started giving it a little bit of kick, a little bit of spice. In 1939, Lucius Beebe printed in his gossip column, the New York, uh, one of the earliest references to the drink, with the original, along with the original recipe. George Jessel's newest pick-me-up, which is receiving attention from the town's photographers, is called the Bloody Mary. Half tomato juice, half vodka. uh, which, by the way, is a pretty stout load of vodka. Most recipes that I've seen are 2 parts juice, 1 part vodka. But if you're making it 2 parts vodka, 2 parts or 1 part vodka, 1 part juice, you're talking 4 ounces of vodka. That's like a double shot of vodka. That's a stout drink. That's a double shot. That's tough. Um, Ferdinand Patois claimed to have invented the modern Bloody Mary in 1934 in a refinement to George Jessel's drink, King Cole Royal Room. So this seems to be a drink that was developed simultaneously in 2 places. Like the original drink was made, and then somebody modified it, then somebody modified it again. Where it eventually became the official Bloody Mary seems to have been sometime in the mid 1930s to the early 1940s, and when it was bouncing back and forth between New York and Paris, between the bar scene and the American writer scene between these two cities, and that's kind of how it developed over time. But it was always at least vodka and tomato juice. They added flavoring to it over the course of those 10 years of salt and pepper. And in some places, it's certainly the lemon juice that was added to it to give it a little bit of flavor, a little bit of tartness. But then the salt and pepper, horseradish, garlic, the cayenne pepper or Tabasco. Over time, you see there's a bunch of different ingredients that go into it. For my purposes, what I'm going to consider a traditional uh, Bloody Mary is going to be a fairly simple tomato juice, lemon juice, a little dash of horseradish, the Tabasco, and the Worcester sauce. That's it. But it's still, we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with the vodka, 6 ingredients, 7, 8 with the salt and pepper. So we're talking 8 ingredients. 8 ingredients in a freaking cocktail. There is no place on planet Earth where it is appropriate to have 8 ingredients in your cocktail. There's no reason for that. There's absolutely no reason. Liquor, sugar, water. Maybe throw in some bitters or something for flavor, and you're done. You're done. That's all you need. That's really all you need. And if you can combine the sugar, water, and flavor, then you really only need the 2, liquor and sugar water flavor. But these people, they got everything, and it's just dumb. It's dumb. First of all, there's no reason to have that many ingredients. Second of all, there's no reason to have vegetable juice and fruit juice and spicy peppers and whatever the hell this is. I don't know what Worcester sauce is, but it's gross. Horseradish? Look, this is my pre-cocktail. I haven't made one to test it. This is my impression of Bloody Marys over the course of history. They are a drink born out of regret. They're a drink born from you drinking too much the night before. You are hungover, you feel bad, and you are trying to drink the embodiment of those mistakes. You're trying to drink something that in the glass tastes as bad as you feel so that you don't feel as bad after you have consumed it. The Bloody Mary is the results of mistakes and bad decisions. If you avoid those bad decisions, you don't have to drink a Bloody Mary. In fact, you don't have to drink a Bloody Mary at all because it's not a cure for a hangover. There's not a cure for a hangover. There's not a cure. Time, water, and rest is your cure for a hangover. You can prevent a hangover by not drinking so much, drinking less, moderating yourself the night before, Or you can still have 6 or 7 cocktails, but just space them out over 6 or 7 hours. You know, if you sit there and pound 7 in an hour, you're going to be hungover. You're going to have a bad time. You don't have to drink something in the morning to confirm that you had a bad time. All right, anyway. So when I was reading the recipe, we're reading how to make a cocktail, how to make the abomination that is. Let's pan this camera down a little bit. There we go. This is all the stupid ingredients, or some of the stupid ingredients. So I got our mixing glass. So they said on the bottom of the mixing glass, put in some salt and some pepper, a dash of salt, a dash of pepper. Okay, and mix it with the hot sauce. Tabasco is what I'm using because I'm in Texas. A little bit of Tabasco, 2 or 3 splashes there of Tabasco, and a couple of splashes of Worcester sauce. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one. I'm going to make one, and can we put a second camera on this? Let me see here. Sources, add, video, create new. There we go. Now I can talk to y'all while the camera's on the cocktail. We'll do this. There we go. The camera's on the cocktail. All right. So I've got the salt, pepper, Tabasco, and Worcester, and it's all mixed up into a nice little bit there. So then they say throw in a squirt of lemon juice. I'm going to put in 50 milliliters into the jigger there for lemon juice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a traditional one as the recipe calls for it. And then I'm also going to use a mix, and I'm going to compare the two. So this is a store-bought mix of traditional, it's Fever Tree. It's traditional, now just going to have a little bit, I'm not even having a lot, just a little bit of the the horseradish there. I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to mix it all up. So we have a nice, so everything's nice and dissolved. I didn't even put a lot of the horseradish in there because I don't want a lot of that horseradish. There we go. Okay. Now, they say equal parts, or at least 2 to 1, tomato to vodka. So this is the tomato juice. This is just plain old Campbell's tomato juice. Nothing exotic, nothing fancy, nothing crazy. I'm going to toss that over there. I do want to have a towel nearby, though. Do I have a towel nearby? Yes, I do. Okay, I have a towel nearby. All right, so I'm going to just measure this out to find out how much this is. That's 1. Ugh, looks like blood. 2. Blech. 3. Just 3? Yeah, just 3. 3 good solid doses. There's just a little bit more in there, not much. So that's good. 3 good solid doses of this, which means 1.5 good solid doses of vodka. That's a lot of damn vodka in a drink. So 1, and then we're going to give it a half. That's half. 1.5 solid doses of vodka. All right, and that's everything. That's the vodka, horseradish, salt, pepper, lemon, Tabasco, tomato juice. That's everything. That's all of this crap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 ingredients in a cocktail. You're supposed to make this crap in the morning? Nonsense. All right. Stir it up. Get it good and mixed. Bring your cup. Give it some ice. All right, we got a glass with some ice in it. I've got my celery That's going to be the garnish. I'm doing this proper, boys. Doing this proper. Celery for the garnish, which I guess technically is also an ingredient. But I'm going to cut the bottom off this celery. Cut it off right about there. There we go. All right. Give it another stir. I'm not used to looking into this camera for the show. And then pour it in because I got a nice pour spout. Get this out of the way. Pour it in. God, that looks disgusting. Ugh. Oh, it fills up. It's a perfect pour. It is just exactly as much as is needed. And I got a dump cup over here too, so I'm going to dump the leftovers in there because I don't want to drink it. All right, let's try it. If this tastes exactly how I expect it to. All right, let's go full. Which camera do we want to use? This one. Up here. Mute this camera. Mute camera 2, please. Mute. Thank you. Deactivate. Thank you. Configure. What's it say? Deactivate when not showing. That's what I need to see. Okay. All right, let's try this disgusting monstrosity. Cheers. Cheers. Yeah, you remember in Back to the Future when they put the clothespin on Doc Brown's nose and shook everything up and dumped it in a funnel into his mouth? That's what this was. This is what that was. All right. All right, here we go. You ready? 3, 2. It's not the worst thing I've put in my mouth. But Jesus Christ, this is not good. This is not a good cocktail, people. This is not, and you can't fancy it up with shrimp and bacon and sausage and add to it like freaking French fries and pizza and chicken and pancakes and waffles and all this other. You can't dress this pig up and make it anything other than fucking disgusting. This is gross. He says while taking another swig. All right. That's awful. And I'm going to set it over here. But that's also the control. We've also got to do the mix cocktail, which is just the store-bought mix. That's the 9 ingredient. Ugh, 9 fucking ingredients. That's the 9 ingredient cocktail. Salt, pepper, Worcester, Tabasco, horseradish, tomato juice, lemon juice, and vodka. You can't taste the vodka. There's a shot and a half of vodka in there. You can barely taste it. All the other atrocities are on top of it, and you can barely taste the vodka. Jesus, God, that's bad. Ugh. All right, but that said, me making the drink, I might have done it wrong. I might have done it poorly. So, we're going to do the store-bought mix, and we will compare and contrast. But I won't do the comparing and contrasting. My lovely assistant, the beautiful and charming Mrs. Old Humble Guy, will be doing the comparing and contrasting. Hey, hon? You with us? All right, she's with us. Not yet. All right, so what this says to do is you take, uh, what is it? Not yet, baby. I'll call you when I need you. I love you. I just want to make sure you're still up.
I don't want to drink that.
This is 1.5 ounces of vodka with 4 ounces of the Bloody Mary mix. Mix well, serve over ice, garnish with stock. So this has all of that shit, all 9 ingredients or whatever in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 3 jiggers of this and 1 jigger, because it's basically 3-to-1. So I'm going to go 3-to-1 with, but I'm going to put the ice in here first. Put the ice in first. Give it a 3-to-1 mix. And my lovely wife is going to compare and contrast these two abominations next to each other and tell me which one's which one she likes best. And I'm going to try it and see which one I like best. So we go with 3 of these. And I'm not going to do the 2-camp shoot on this. 1. Ugh. 2. 3. All right, there's 3 of those. Where's the lid? I don't want this spilling and getting all over the place. That would be disgusting. All right, 3 of these. And again, this was developed in Paris. This was developed originally in Paris, improved in New York, re-improved again over the course of 10 years or so between Paris and New York. So that is a full 1 part of the vodka. Now it says to stir and garnish with the celery. Let's get another celery stalk. Proper garnish, boys. And y'all know what I think about garnish. I think garnish is just drink roadblocks. I could do without garnish on pretty much every drink. But the garnish for a Bloody Mary is pretty important. It's like part of the drink, you know. Okay, so the garnish goes in. I'm going to go ahead and stir it with the garnish. Make sure that's good and stirred. All right. Now my hunch is that the Fever Tree, because it's a mass market, broad appeal type of mix, my hunch is that this is going to have more muted flavor to it. So let's give it a taste. All right, it's got less. It's got less. It's less spicy. It's more sweet. It's got more tomato to it, less spice to it, less everything. Let's call in the Mrs. Old Humble Guy and see what she thinks. Now she's from Ohio, so you know spicy to her is like a teaspoon of Tabasco sauce in a whole damn soup. But I've got the mix, and I've got the traditional handmade 9 ingredient abomination unto mankind. See if that works. She's gonna come in here and just beat the piss out of me. That has way less character. I don't know if it's better. It has less character. Everything in it is like muted. Let's see here. Okay, so I think the handmade one is better because it's got a little bit more punch to it. It's got a little bit more punch. It's a little bit more spicy. It's a little bit more. It's extra. There's more to it. You know, you can taste the salt. You can taste the pepper. You can taste the spices. You can taste all the stuff that's going on in it. The mix is. Yeah, I got a little spiciness in the back of my throat. The mix is fine, but it's a good palette on which you can do more stuff to it. Let me summon the missus. Get her in here. And she's like, I don't want to drink it. She's gonna drink it. Ugh, this is disgusting. That'll get her. Here she comes. I just heard the door shut. She's gonna come. Ugh. And now I got all this shit on my desk that I got to get off my desk. Ugh. It's just a glass of disappointment, bad decisions, and regret. You know? And it's a glass that reminds you of your disappointment, bad decisions, and regret. Because everything about this says you did.
Me?
Hello, my love.
I'm not going on screen.
No, don't come on screen. She's not coming on screen, guys. Try this one, my sweet. I'm not telling you which one this is.
I don't want to.
I know. She says, I don't want to.
I really don't want to.
So what's the smell? Does it smell like anything? Does it smell like anything?
Tomato juice
Smells like tomato juice.
and ketchup.
And ketchup.
Well, that is tomato juice. Pepper.
She smells pepper.
I really don't want to.
All right, put my junk in your mouth, woman. Come on.
I really don't want to.
If y'all can see the look on her face,
I'm not going on screen.
she is not loving this at all.
That is disgusting.
That is disgusting. Okay. That was the first.
Ah!
That's the first one. She's got go get a drink of water and wash that abomination out of your mouth.
No, just let me get it over with.
You want some vodka to wash it out with?
What was in it?
That's just a Bloody Mary, Mama.
What's the difference?
One is a handmade traditional Bloody Mary. The other's the mix, and I'm not telling you which one's which. I want it. The first one, you had it. The second one.
If I had to choose between the two, it would be the first nasty one. The second one was even worse.
So she says the first nasty one is the one that she liked best. The second nasty one was even worse.
Oh, God, that's
So,
gross.
The first, even she says it's gross. Say that again, out loud, louder.
I don't like tomatoes.
She hates tomatoes and she hates Bloody
gross.
Marys. So the first one was the Fever Tree. The first one was the mix. It was muted. It has less of everything. It tastes more tomatoey. This one has the horseradish and pepper and salt and Tabasco. It has all the parts to it. So she disliked the Fever Tree more. I like the handmade one more.
No, I like this one better.
Yeah, this was the Fever Tree.
The first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she liked the Fever Tree more. I like the handmade more. The handmade one tastes extra. It has flavors to it that the other one doesn't.
I dislike one less than
the other.
Yeah,
that's fair. She disliked one less than the other. I dislike the other less than the one.
Disgusting.
Come make that face on camera.
No,
they need to
not
see.
Going on
Y'all need to see the face she's. Let me do this. She says it's disgusting. Can you do me a huge favor?
What?
Can you take this to the refrigerator and this to the pantry and this to the refrigerator and
I'm
this
a pack mule now.
and this to the refrigerator and these to the counter?
No, I don't have hands. Bye.
I'm loading her up with all the crap on my desk to
And
take
I'm
back.
going to bed.
And now she's gone. She's out here. She's like, you do your YouTube shit by yourself. Old humble guy. Old humble gal is going home. Okay, so the reviews are in from Mrs. Old Humble Guy. Fever Tree is hey. One more thing. The reviews are in. Mrs. Old Humble Guy says the Fever Tree is better. And that's why I said the Fever Tree is probably more for a mass market, so it's more muted. It doesn't have the spice. It doesn't have the bite. It doesn't have the pepperiness. It doesn't have all the stuff. It doesn't have the flavor that you get with a handmade one. On the other hand, the handmade one is extra. It's got everything in it, and all the flavors come out. The horseradish, and I didn't use a lot of horseradish, mind you. It was just the tip of the spoon, just a little bit of horseradish, just a little bit of.
It's stuck in the back of my throat.
There's celery too. Can you take that?
It's gross.
And while you got those in your hands, just take that too. Thanks, baby. I love you. I'm sorry.
I guess that's payback for making me eat Brussels sprouts.
She said it's payback for making me eat Brussels sprouts. Yep. All right, I'm going to try again. Got a little bit of alcohol flowing through the system. Yeah, no, that's not good. Ugh. That is not good. That is not good. And I don't know who decided they were good. Yeah, no, I don't like either one of these. These are both horrible. They're both horrible. They're both absolutely terrible. Let's see if the celery tastes good. The celery's not bad. I'm going to pour both of these out because these are both disgusting. Yeah. So anyway, the Bloody Mary was developed in the mid 1920s through the 1930s. The recipe was developed. It wasn't just a one and done thing. It started off as just vodka and tomato juice, and then it became, over time it was developed with lemon juice added, salt and pepper added, spices, herbs, garlic. Really, really a Bloody Mary today. The basic ingredients are tomato juice, lemon juice, vodka. It's a little bit of lemon juice and basically 2-to-1 or 1-to-1 tomato juice and vodka, basically. But the extra herbs and spices that are added, I've seen, like I said, garlic, saffron, allspice, seasoned salt, seasoned pepper, salt, pepper, horseradish, Worcester, obviously. Well, Worcester's also one of the primary ingredients. Basically, think of anything you can think of that would make a tomato soup taste good. And that's what they put in the tomato juice to make it taste good. V8 is a perfect replacement for tomato soup because V8 has eight additional vegetables or whatever. It's a vegetable cocktail, a tomato-based vegetable cocktail. But over the course of the 30s, between New York and Paris, these 2 or 3 bars went back and forth, back and forth. They probably swapped personnel back and forth too, but they certainly swapped customers back and forth because we're talking Ernest Hemingway and the writers that bounced between Paris and New York. That writers set, the fancy guys, the fancy boys, the salon crew, the salon set that would go from Paris back to New York and back to Paris and back and forth. The high society types. So they're going back and forth between New York clubs and Paris bars, Paris hotel bars especially, and they're going back and forth between the two, and they're bringing drink ideas back and forth. So they're drinking Bloody Marys in Paris. They're going back to New York drinking. They're telling the New York bartenders, "Hey, we've got this drink in Paris. You need to do this drink here." And they're like, "Oh, we can do the drink here, mate." Oh wait, that's all kind of awesome. Whoops! I'm trying to get water so that I can wipe my bar down a little bit, and then I just spilled ice everywhere because I'm a stupid idiot. But they're kind of swapping these ideas back and forth and developing drinks back and forth between New York and Paris, and that's kind of how over time this drink develops in a way that's somewhat organic in its development. It wasn't a marketing thing. It wasn't like Smirnoff sat down and said, "Hey, we're going to invent a drink so that people can buy our drinks." It was just kind of like this hotel started making the drink, and then the bar started making the drink, and then the liquor companies kind of moved in and said, "Hey, why don't we try and help you improve your drinks?" So that was kind of the history, the background as it was developing, and as it was developed, it was very much a market driven and not a producer driven type of cocktail. Um, Whereas the White Russian that we looked at a few weeks back was very much a cocktail that was driven by and popularized by um, the brands that were selling the ingredients for the cocktail. So the White Russian and the Black Russian started off as a drink that was developed in a bar, and then it became a drink that was popularized by the brands, where the Bloody Mary, being the abomination that it is, started off as a drink that was enjoyed by the customers, and the customers and the bars developed the drink over the course of about 10 or 15 years, to the point now where there's not really one recipe that you can look to and say, this is a Bloody Mary. There's really not one recipe. There's one basic guideline for the recipe: salt, pepper, lemon juice, Worcester sauce, spices if you like them, tomato juice, vodka, and that's it. That's the basic bare bones. But on top of those bones, you can add all kinds of other stuff. Like I said, horseradish, garlic, cayenne pepper. You can add to the celery as the garnish with all kinds of fucking insane things like shrimp and bacon and sausage and hot dogs and whatever the hell else people throw onto these things that just makes it just a ridiculous exercise in Sunday brunch excess. But I mean, I've got two videos out there. This dude puts two chickens, a pizza, French fries, hamburgers. Just dumb, and just dumb. Like, where do you start? You don't. You don't. You start by throwing that shit in the trash and drinking a real drink like a man. Insanity, absolute insanity. But I'm going to come back to him. I'm going to come back to him. I'm going to let him sit for a minute, and then I'm going to come back to him and see if they get better with age. I don't expect them to, but we'll see. Um, so yeah, that's the history. The mystery is, well, there's no mystery. It is a drink developed by drug addicts and alcoholics. So let's face it, Ernest Hemingway was an alcoholic. Uh, and all those writers and the salon types that bounced between Paris and New York and back and forth, they did all the drugs, they drank all the alcohol, they were lushes and louts, and they were not respectable individuals. It was a drink invented by regret and sadness and disappointment. It was a drink that was inspired by hangovers. Like, oh, I need something to fix my hangover. He's like, I got you, fam. Sit back. I'll give you a V8 with some vodka, a little bit of hair of the dog, a little nutrients and vitamins, a little bit of spice. You'll be good. Meanwhile, I'm going to eat celery in your ear. And all right, with that, I mean that's the history and mystery of the Bloody Mary. Invented in the 20s, perfected through the 30s. An organic drink that came from the market to the bars up to the companies, as opposed to handed down from the companies. And you can tell the difference between the cocktails that come from the brands to the market versus the cocktails that come from the market to the brands, because the cocktails that come from the market to the brands do not have a fixed recipe like the Bloody Mary. There's no fixed recipe. Every single mix that you see in the store, every single pre-mixed Bloody Mary mix that you find in the bottle at the store has a different set of spices, a different set of herbs, a different set of flavorings that go into the spice. If you want to make your own, you can make your own. It's not really that hard to put lemon juice and to get a mason jar, and mix up some Bloody Mary mix and bring it to a party. Especially if you're going to be doing an overnight type of thing and y'all are going to be having a thing in the morning. Bring your own Bloody Mary mix and you say, hey, I got some Bloody Mary mix. You can have your own big old jar of Bloody Mary mix and just pour it out into some, hell, you can have it pre-mixed with vodka. Just shake it up and pour it out over the ice and y'all are good to go in the morning. You don't have to worry about mixing it in the morning if you want to do that sort of thing. But being a grown-up and not some dickhead frat boy, I can tell you, better in the morning to just have a decent breakfast and moderate the previous night and not drink like a goddamn idiot. That way, when you wake up in the morning, you're not hungover like a dumbass. You're hungover like a professional grown-up adult. You're just hungover a little bit, like you have to go to work in the morning. And then you don't have to torture yourself with one of these fucking abominations. You can just, torture yourself like a normal person, and have breakfast and talk to your family and, experience daylight and drink coffee. Because no matter what they tell you, there's only one way to cure a hangover, and that's by hydrating and passing toxins. That's the only thing that cures a hangover. If you wake up hungover, you have to hydrate yourself and pass the toxins out of your system. Hydration helps you pass those toxins out of your system by flushing your system with water and getting it out. You can drink Gatorade too. Gatorade has electrolytes. Electrolytes is what the body craves. Plants love electrolytes. That's not true. But electrolytes is what your body craves. You're dehydrated, you need electrolytes, you drink the Gatorade to help to flush the toxins out of your system. Now, you can prevent a hangover by not drinking nearly as much, by moderating yourself when you do drink. You can have 10 drinks. You can drink a whole damn bottle of whiskey as long as you start at like 3 o'clock and keep going till, 2 or 3 in the morning. But if you drink an entire bottle of whiskey between 8 and midnight, you're going to be fucked, buddy. You're going to have a tough morning. Sorry. But the way to cure a hangover is not by drinking one of these abominations. One of these abominations will not cure a hangover. It will just remind you that you are a sinner in the hands of an angry God, and you need to repent and turn away from your sinful deeds. Repent! 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 Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Man alive. All right. That said, let's go ahead and jump over to chat. We're going to go to phase 2 of the show. What time is it? Time for phase? Oh, shit. It's well past time for phase 2 of the show. It's 11 o'clock. Onward to phase 2. Is that it? Ba-bam. There we are. Phase 2 of the show. Chat is up and running. Once again, thank you so much to our 2,432 or 33 subscribers. I don't know. I think the number's 32. Thank you to our subscribers for subscribing and supporting the channel. I do truly appreciate it. There it is. Move this up a little bit. Yeah. That gets all of chat into the screen. Can I make it bigger? Make it bigger? No, it doesn't need to be that big. Make it a little smaller. There we go. I can see that just fine. Can y'all see that just fine? I can see that just fine. Cheers. Oh, all right. Hang on. Let's go. We're going to start from the top of chat. Now, remember, Super Chat runs you to the front of the line. Super Thanks is a new thing that I don't know what that is. but you can definitely do that. I just got those activated today, so I don't know what those are. Um, and of course, super chat. With the super chat, you can also decide how the show is going to go, because I will read the super chats first, and I will read it word for word, Ron Burgundy style. So I mean, I'm going to read it before I say it, but I'm going to say it word for word of what you type up there, as long as it's keeping within community standards. No, I won't say, you know, what um, Hitler was right or shit like that. I'm not going to say shit like that. So, no, but thanks. Thanks for the money, but I'm not going to say that. Um, and cheers to all of you fine folks out there. Um, what else do I need to say? Memberships are available. Shit, I forgot to mention memberships. So there's 3 different tiers of membership. There's a superfan membership, a wildcat membership, and a roughneck membership. Superfans get all the access to members only stuff, members only live streams, members only chat, members only events. Superfans will be recognized on our production screen. Eventually, I'm going to actually reprint or redo the production screen and have your names printed on the production screen or on a production screen. Haven't done it yet, but that's like on my list of things to do. Trust me. Their memberships get added. Their entire annual membership gets added every time we do a spin or drawing on the Wheel of Doom and Glory. So super fans get added 24 times plus every time they get into chat. Wildcats get added 60 times plus every time they get into chat, and Roughnecks get on, what is it, 25 times 12? I don't even know what that is. 250, 375, whatever. Plus, they get to name the studio for a month. This is our Old Humble Distilling Company Pandemic Studio. It was established in March of 2020. And our new tasting room will have its own studio in the tasting room where we will have members only shows. Members will be invited onto the show to participate. Wildcat, the second tier, Wildcat members will receive samples in the mail where they can join us for a sip along, and we can talk about the special whiskeys and all that stuff. That'll be a members only chat, but a public show, members only chat. And we're going to be doing some cool stuff over the course of the next year. And we should have the tasting room done in about 2 weeks. Functional and operational in about a week. Done, fully done and completed. Well, I'm not going to say fully done and completed. Nearly done and completed in about 2 weeks. And will be open to the public starting in November. Open to the public and fully functioning in about November. So we got some cool stuff going. And then I'm going to build our happy hour table. And we're going to do the show from the distillery once a week. So that's the memberships. Superfan membership, Wildcat membership, Roughneck membership. I'll probably add another couple of tiers in there between 2 and 5 and 25. Probably add something like a different $5 level and a different $2 level to give you different privileges and rights. Whatever. And like these 2 drinks are sitting here staring at me. You see them? They're just fucking staring at me. Tell you what. For every $5 super chat, I'll drink from one of these drinks. You tell me which one you want me to drink from, the traditional or the mix. For every $5, I'll take a full swig from one of these 2 mugs. You can see them. There's plenty in there. So for every, if you want to see me drink it, and that's a fucking abomination. I don't like it. I did not like either one of them. I liked mine better than the mix. My lovely wife liked the mix better than the handmade one. We both agreed that they both tasted like ass. They're terrible. Terrible fucking drinks. Don't ever drink so much that you think that Bloody Mary is a good idea. That's my public service announcement to you fine folks. Sunflower says she's looking forward to this. She hasn't had. She enjoys a good Bloody Mary. I don't think one of those exists. She hasn't had one in a long while. I've never had one in my entire life. And of course, she is also not here. Love you, son. You're a great person. You really are. I love you bunches from the bottom of my heart. Mr. Jiggs, our first member, pops in, says cheers to everyone. William Hall pops in. By the way, William, your box is still here. You never emailed me. Or at least I didn't get your email if you did email me, but I did look through my emails and I found your address. So I'll be sending those out to you later this week or early next week. So cheers to you and congratulations for winning my special box. And you're going to be able to put your entire hand in my box and pull out of it very special things. Goodness gracious. I am an absolute degenerate. Mr. Jiggs, William Hall, Mr. Walter Kurt is also in the house. Cheers, Walter. Welcome into the show. Glad you could join us. Happy to have you here. Absolutely happy to have you here. So there you go. News of the week. That's the next segment of the show. While we're in the chat room, sign it, please. I will sign it on the inside. So I'll sign it over here. I'll sign it right here. So when you open it up, you'll have my signature right there. So I'll sign it on that side. But yeah, I've got your address in my. I think I have your address on my emails. If I don't have the address, I'll email you tomorrow and tell you to send it to me. Tomorrow morning, I'm doing election training. So I have to go across town to a big auditorium, gymnasium, sit in whatever it is, the fucking county service center. Listen to these people tell us shit we already know. Act like it's interesting. All for like 3.5 hours or so. Then come back and tutor kids who don't know how to do math. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time. Thoroughly enjoy it. I enjoy doing election work. Working the polls, Polls, for election day. Because it's fun to see the mechanics of the civic system working. It's fun to see the mechanics of how the state of Texas acts like they give a shit about voting. The voting performance art that the state of Texas goes through. It's fun to do all that stuff, and it makes me feel like I'm doing something. I'm keeping the gears moving. I'm preventing fraud at my polling station, which is a big deal. It's important to me. It's also how I know that people who claim fraud are full of shit because I see how it works. I know how it works, and it doesn't happen. That's why fraud claims never get any traction because they're full of shit. These people don't know what they're talking about. But that said, the state of Texas has elections coming up on November 7th, Tuesday in November. The first Tuesday in November is November 7th. We're doing setup on the 6th. This is a state election. Ballot initiatives, all this other crap. It's mostly a bunch of nonsense. It's mostly a bunch of stuff that doesn't really matter. Doesn't really have a huge impact. we're going to reelect uh, our. Is this a state congressional election or is that next? I think that's a state congressional election this year because we do elections in off years in the state of Texas. So the national election was last year. The state election is this year. So while all of our candidates are in Austin in some special election, we're going to the polls and reelecting these people. That's how not serious the state of Texas is about elections. The people who are being elected are still in session. They're still working. They're still trying to take away. Hold on. Calm down. Not going to get into it. Not going to talk about what they're doing. I mean, I could talk about the ballot initiatives and the efforts that they got on the state level to dismantle the public education system. But you know what I'm going to do instead? I'm just going to play the fucking harmonica because bitching about it on a YouTube channel, a lightly watched YouTube channel, that is not going to fucking change the election. What I will do, however, is I will continue to work on registering people to vote and getting out the word on the local level. This isn't going to fucking change anything. So, what we are going to talk about is whiskey. We're going to talk about a shitty fucking cocktail that was invented in Paris, developed in New York, further developed in Paris, and perfected over time. We're going to talk about, the news of the week has been shitty. This week's news has been absolutely shitty. But the Cougars won on Thursday night against a team that they should have lost to, West Virginia, University of Houston football Cougars. The Houston Astros won tonight against the Arlington Rangers. They don't like it when we call them the Arlington Rangers because they're the Texas Rangers. They play in Dallas, but they don't play in Dallas. They play in Arlington. Arlington, fucking Texas. You know where Arlington is? Arlington is a small little suburb. Actually, hold on before I go further. William Hall, you're a member, so you get to tell me which one of these cups I drink out of first. And Mr. Jiggs, you're a member, you get to tell me which one of these cups I get to drink out of first. So anyway, the Houston Astros beat the Arlington Rangers by a score of 8-5, I believe it was. Yeah, it was a score of 8-5, which is pretty much what we expected. They'd go up to Arlington and they would dominate the fucking Rangers in their home field because Arlington is Minute Maid North. It's North Houston. It's Minute Maid North. We go to Arlington. Oof, stop that. We go to Arlington and we play baseball like it's our home field. We own that fucking field. And the Houston Astros beat the piss out of the Arlington Rangers. I'm speaking with a swagger. I think you can hear the swagger in my voice. The Astros are down 2-1 in the American League Championship Series. But I fully expect the Astros are going to take the next 3 games. Fully expect it. Why? Because they're a better team. Handmade. They're a better team than the Rangers. They're just a better team. The Rangers had more days in first place over the entire course of the season, but the Astros are just a better team. They're a more experienced team. They've got playoff experience. They've got World Series experience. They're just a more seasoned, more veteran team. Now there comes a point where talent takes over. You know, your talent levels here, and the experience compounds that talent. You become a better team and better team and better team. And then the talent kind of drops off as your players get older, or you swap in new players and the talent kind of drops off, or you replace older players with newer players and you can maintain that talent level. But there comes a point where the talent level kind of drops off a little bit, especially in professional teams, because you can't keep, you keep older players on because they're legacy players and you've had them forever and they have a contract and you can't offload that contract to somebody else. So you've got to keep the $25 million shortstop forever. They're going to retire with your team, right? So the talent level kind of drops off as people get older, but the experience level comes up. But there comes a point where the experience level can't compensate for the talent level. You can know how to win, right? You can know how to play the game. You can know how to take advantage of situations. You can just be good at what you do. Skill, knowledge, understanding of the game, understanding of the pressure, understanding of how things work. You can just be good at it, right? But at some point, the body just fails. You can't hit the marks. You can't hit the ball. You can't throw the ball. You can't hit your spots as a pitcher. You can't throw the ball as hard as a third baseman. You can't hit the ball as hard as a power hitting first baseman. Whatever. The talent and skill kind of fall off a little bit, and then the next generation takes over. And if you've got a really good general manager, you can balance the older players with the newer players. You can bring in new talent to balance out the skill, and you can keep the legacy going. The Astros have been at this for 7 years, 8 years. 2015 was the first year they broke into the playoffs after their rebuilding seasons. 4 years of rebuilding where they lost 400 games over 4 seasons. And then in the fifth season, 2015, boom, they broke into the playoffs. Unexpected. They won like 83 games or something like that. Barely. They fell ass backwards into a playoff spot and fell into the playoffs. Bounced in the first round. It's fine. And then they didn't make it in 2016. But then 2017, boom, World Series. 2018, NLCS. 2019, NLCS. World Series 2019. Lost 2019. 2020, short season, ALCS. That's fine. Short season, didn't really count. 2021 was World Series, lost to the Nationals in 2021. 2022, World Series champions. Dude, we're talking 7 straight years of ALCS work. 7 straight years. 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017. 7 straight years. 3 of them World Series appearances, 2 of them World Series victories. It's a fucking legacy. This is a great guy. This is a special time to be an Astros fan. This is a special time to enjoy Astros baseball. I have utmost confidence that their knowledge, their skill, and their talent will carry them through. The Rangers are a great team. They've got a shit ton of talent on that team. But the Astros have skill. The Astros have knowledge of how to win. They've been there before. They know what they're doing. They know what they need to do. They're professional champions. Astros going to take this. They're Astros in 6. Astros going to take this. All right, William Hall says to drink the handmade. This is my handmade cocktail. I'm going to stir it because there's clear on top. I got to get this all mixed up. Y'all, these are fucking terrible. These are terrible cocktails. But there it is. It's just below the handle. So you can see I'm actually going to drink it. Take this out. Put that over there. Ugh. Ugh. Fuck me. Yeah. Yeah. That is a bad drink. I I see why it's made. Ugh. God damn, that is awful. Mm. That is fucking awful. And by the way, this is more tomato juice. They don't sell these as singles. This is more tomato juice than any one person should ever have. I've got 5 more of these goddamn cans. I've got 5 of these. This is shit. There's no reason to have tomato juice in your house. I should have gotten V8, but V8 was not the traditional recipe. The traditional recipe is tomato juice. V8 was a modern version, a modern twist on the traditional recipe. I don't know what V8 tastes like. I've never had V8 juice. V8 is not tomato juice. V8 is a juice cocktail, a vegetable cocktail that's tomato based. If I got V8 juice, V8 was a breakfast juice that was popularized in the 1980s because people were like health conscious all of a sudden in the 1980s. Ugh. People were health conscious in the 1980s, and there was the commercial ad. Oh, I should have had a V8, right? V8 is garbage. I should have gotten V8 because I could have at least drank that shit for breakfast. But no, I've got 5 fucking cans of tomato juice. What am I going to do with tomato juice? What I'm going to end up doing is giving it away to some soup kitchen. Ugh. Says, keep him in case the dog gets sprayed by a skunk. We don't have skunks out here. We live in the goddamn suburbs of Houston. We don't have skunks out here. Anyway, that's not nearly enough tomato juice to bathe a dog. Not nearly enough. I need to get 10 times that to bathe the dog. And they sell giant 125 gallon, 128 gallon jugs of that shit. Ugh. Yeah. Tomato soup, I like. Tomato soup, I like. It has herbs and spices, flavorings. Tomato juice. Ugh. Tomato juice tastes like you've made mistakes in life. Like spaghetti sauce, that's not a bad idea. That actually isn't a bad idea. And Mr. Jiggs is in the house. By the way, Mr. Jiggs, your membership privileges include you being able to tell me which one of these 2 I should drink out of next. The handmade or the traditional or the mix. And by the way, every super chat, $5, you can make me drink one or the other. Every $5, you can have me drink one or the other. Members already get to choose. Y'all don't have to throw in any more cash. Y'all have already done the God's work. I don't put tomato juice in chili. We just okay. So okay. Let's talk about chili. I live in Texas. I live in Texas. So there's a lot of people in this state that have a lot of opinions about chili. Most of those opinions are wrong. They're terrible opinions. They're just bad. So traditional chili. Traditional chili was a trail ride meal. There is no one. This is another one of those things like a Bloody Mary where it comes from the people up and not the companies down, right? So chug. No, I'm not gonna fucking chug. So it comes from the people up, not the companies down. So there's no one recipe for chili. there's some basic bones to it. There's the tomato base. There's the chili, the actual chili peppers that go into the chili for flavoring. There's meat. There's water, and there's proteins that are added, right? So the meat's a protein. They throw in the meat and different meats. There's chicken, there's beef. There, and it depends on your location, right? Because there's rabbit, chicken, beef, bison, goat. There's all kinds of meats that can be thrown into the chili to make give the chili a protein, right? So there's a lot of people that have a lot of opinions about beans that go into chili. There's a lot of people that have a lot of opinions about beans or no beans. And I can tell you, there's a lot of people that get really angry with you if you say beans go in chili, but they're wrong because beans go in chili. Traditionally speaking, there's chili is what you would call pantry Velcro food. You run it through the pantry, and whatever it gets picked up goes into the chili. There's vegetables. It's also a refrigerator pantry, refrigerator Velcro. There's vegetables that go into the chili. You can throw in okra if you have okra, because okra is a hearty vegetable. I know that makes it a kind of a gumbo type of thing, but it's fine. You can put okra in a chili. You can put celery. You can put certainly tomatoes, garlic. You can put all kinds of shit in a chili. The bones of a chili. The bones of a chili: tomato, chili, meat, beans. And if you want to get fancy, rice. Rice isn't necessary. Rice isn't a principal staple. I like rice in my chili. But you got your water, tomato, meat, and beans. There you go. There's your chili. 4 ingredients. 4 ingredients in your fucking meal. And there are people who get all up in arms. Beans don't belong in chili. Beans don't belong in chili. Blah, 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 blah. They're fucking wrong. You know how I know they're wrong? This is how I know they're wrong. During the pandemic. When the shelves were emptied of food, you go to because you didn't want to go to the store more than you had to. So you'd go to the store and you'd stock up for a month worth of food all at once. There were lines of people outside the grocery store trying to get into the grocery store to buy food. You know what they had shit tons of? Hormel chili, no beans. Wolf brand chili, no beans. You know what they didn't have? You know what they didn't have on the store shelves during the pandemic? Chili with beans. You know why they didn't have chili with beans? Because everybody ate the chili with beans, because chili with beans tastes better than chili without beans. Chili without beans goes on hot dogs. You don't put chili with beans on hot dogs, but chili without beans on hot dogs. Hot dogs get chili, no beans. People, chili with beans. So if you've got a pita, a wrap with a tube of cow lips and anuses, you put chili, no beans on your lips and anuses. But if you want to put it inside of you, if you actually want to eat it and savor it and enjoy it and have a pleasant evening, chili, beans. And it makes sense too, because what are you going to eat on? What do you have on the trail? What do you have on the trail? What does Cookie have in the chuck wagon? Cookie's got rice. Cookie's got beans. Cookie's got water. Cookie's got chilies. Cookie's got meats. What are you going to put in a bowl? Rice, chili, water, meat, beans. Cookie knows how to make fucking chili. You gonna argue with Cookie? Cookie knows how to make. Cookie didn't spend 30 minutes talking to the owner of the ranch to get his fucking job for you to tell him how to make chili. Cookie already knows how to do it. Don't you argue with Cookie. Cookie's gonna shit in your bowl if you argue with Cookie. Cookie's gonna put his ball sack in your bowl if you argue with Cookie. Don't you argue with Cookie. You eat his soup and you enjoy it. You eat his chili, you enjoy it. You eat his red beans and rice, and you enjoy it. Don't act like you know how to make food better than Cookie. Cookie knows how to make food. You just shut up and ride your fucking horse and keep the cows in line. That's all you need to do. Cookie's there to make sure that y'all don't die. Anyway, what were we talking about? Uh, oh, putting the tomato juice in the okay. All right, Jigs, you say to drink the non-traditional, the mix. All right, I'm not gonna chug it. I'm gonna take a drink like a grown-up. These people can try to kick me out of Texas, but I'm right. I'm right. That's the point of this whole fucking rant. I'm right. The people who say no beans and chili, they're wrong. They're just wrong. They're not merely historically wrong, they're empirically wrong. Because if you sit down and you have a bowl of chili that has beans in it and a bowl of chili without beans in it, there's no question as to which one's better. The one with beans has more substance, more protein, more flavor, more it's just more delight it's a more delightful experience from the first taste to the last taste. Everything about it is better. Everything about it is better. The people who say, "Oh, you can't have beans and chili," they're wrong. That's like people are like that's like people are like um I only have sex missionary. I mean, there's it's like you've never tried any other positions. Have you not ever tried chili with beans? I mean, that's amazing. It's delightful and delicious and wonderful. Just eat it. Put it in your mouth and swallow. This is not complicated. The the proof is literally in the drink or in the drink. The proof is in the food. The actual event. Okay, so I'm stirring it up to get the water off the top because it had separated a little bit. The ice had melted. I'm going to take a bit. Ugh, Jesus Christ! Just the thought is making me gag a little bit. Ugh. All right, here we go. This is fucking terrible. These drinks are terrible. There's no redeeming qualities about a Bloody Mary. Bloody Marys are the fucking worst. All right, here we go. Put that over here. All right. Think of pleasant thoughts. This is gonna make me throw up. Ugh. I got plenty of vessels to throw up in if I have to. God damn. I I'm never doing a show about Bloody Marys again. I did a show about Bloody Marys. I did Bloody Marys, but I did the ones with whiskey. Bloody Mary with whiskey. Bloody Johns. No, not Bloody Johns. Bloody Bulls. Blood Bulls. Bloody Elizabeth. Whatever. It tasted like shit. It's a terrible fucking drink. All right. Look over there. Delicious. No, I'm kidding. Can't do that to go. All right. In 3, 2, bottoms up. Ugh. Ah. Ugh. Ugh. Ah. Ugh. Ah. It's in my mustache. Ah. All right. I gotta wash that out with some water. God damn, it's a terrible drink. Who orders that shit? God damn it. Who goes on vacation and they're like, we're gonna have Bloody Marys in the morning? Who goes out to brunch and they're like, let's have some delicious brunch food like eggs Benedict and some salmon carpes, salmon caprese or whatever the fuck. Let's have some waffles and chicken and a Bloody Mary to ruin the whole goddamn presentation with. Ugh, gross. Ugh, blah. Ugh, gross. Blah. Vomit. Nasty. Crap. God damn. Ugh. All right, onward we go. Where were we? Throw them in the next batch of chili sauce or spaghetti sauce. No, they might go in the next batch of spaghetti sauce. But here's the thing. I have yet to have a chili, a homemade chili, a handmade chili that is improved on Wolf brand chili with beans. And I know everybody has a chili recipe. Everybody has a great great grandma, whatever. My great grandfather has a brandy recipe, and my grandfather has a recipe for pecan rye. We're built differently in this household. We don't have chili recipes, but everybody has a chili recipe. But my family has spaghetti recipes. I actually have sauce recipes. I actually do. I have a sauce recipe that I developed myself, and it's delicious. It's absolutely fucking delicious. Um, but yeah, I might go into the next batch of sauce because that's good. I could do that. Uh, you don't put tomato juice in chili. No, but yeah, chili does have a tomato base. I absolutely, yeah, I'm down. And Indiana's a beautiful state, by the way. I don't know if you know this, but it is. It's a beautiful state. I mean, you live there, you know. But I'm a big fan of Indiana. I love that state. It's a beautiful state. It's fun to drive through. Uh, we have stopped at Linderlost Farms. We haven't spent the night in Indiana. I've spent the night in Indiana. As a family, we haven't. But I went to Linderlost Farms outside of Indianapolis. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful estate. Beautiful place. Whole fucking state is gorgeous. We drove past Indianapolis and through the whole state down I-16. Was it I-69 or I-49? I think it was 69. Anyway, beautiful state. Love it. Absolutely love it. Anyway, where were we? What was I talking about? Tomato juice and yeah. Okay. Anyway, uh, um, that was the non-traditional drink chug. Ugh. Yeah, it just makes me sad that people do that to themselves. They're called chili beans for a reason. Stop. But watch out, might get kicked out of Texas. Uh, there might be beans in chili, but there's definitely no ball sack. uh, can't stay for the live. Watch for blood. Sunflowers, I love you with all my heart. You're a great person, but these are terrible drinks. They are terrible fucking drinks. They're absolutely the worst goddamn thing. Um, got to crash. Good night, William Hall. It was a pleasure. Cheers. Good night. Um, cheers and good night. Sunflowers. What would be a better night to do the show? Uh, lightly watched, lightly chatted. It's tough. It is tough. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. What do we have? I'm gonna keep going for another 20 minutes. I'm gonna wrap this up at midnight. I've got work to do in the morning. I do have updates from the distillery. I will be doing a live stream from the distillery in the next several days. But in the meantime, I can at least show you what the progress looks like. Come on, go away. And show you what progress looks like. There it is. So this is the view from the bar in the tasting room. We have serious updates to be had from the distillery. And our next live will be from the tasting room at the distillery. And it will be, what's tomorrow? Thursday? I think it'll be Friday night, actually. I think I'll do a live Friday night. Bacon's doing his show Friday night, but I'll be doing my show Friday night too. A different show Friday night. Friday afternoon. I'll be doing Friday afternoon. I'll be doing my bottling, among other things. We'll be bottling up our straight whiskey over the course of the day, Friday afternoon. So there you go. So we'll be doing a live Friday afternoon from the distillery. We'll be Well, y'all aren't going to see the tasting room if I'm in the distillery, because there's the distillery side and the tasting room side. Oh, I'll do a walkthrough. I have a video for a walkthrough, and I'll post it up, and we'll see what's going on. The electrician is coming on Tuesday to put in the plugs and ports. And then Wednesday and Thursday, I'll be going live Wednesday and Thursday, paneling up everything, uh, getting everything paneled and the panels put in place in the tasting room. I'm gonna have to cut everything down by 6 inches, give or take. Cut everything down by 6 inches to make it fit, and then but we'll have lights, which will be important. And then Friday afternoon, Friday morning, I'll be installing my LED strips along with my garden lights that cut across tasting room in the cross. I will have eventually. I'm going to have a chandelier in the middle of the tasting room, and all of the acoustic panels in the ceiling. I will be auctioning those off and selling them off. So we will have a membership tier that can buy an acoustic panel. That will be your acoustic panel. You can have it decorated. You send me a design to put on the acoustic panel. Otherwise, it'll just be a copper acoustic panel, copper plated, copper lined, whatever acoustic panel that we'll put on the ceiling. Um, yeah, we got some stuff happening. We got everything's coming together. Everything's moving in the right direction. It's a very exciting time. It's a very exciting time to have a distillery. It's a very exciting time to be a whiskey guy, and it's a very exciting time to be a fan of a distillery. And I appreciate y'all support, 100%. Appreciate y'all support. Appreciate y'all standing by me. Appreciate y'all showing interest in the progression of the distillery and the progression of the channel and the shows as we do things. I truly do appreciate it. I'm working on my end to try and make things better. We can make things more interesting, more better topics, more better shows, more better everything, more better cameras, more better lighting, more better everything so that it can be a better viewing experience for you, as well as a better broadcast experience for me. Um, and then we're going to have our final shot for the night, but that's going to wait for just a minute. Um, I need to get more. We need to do more. Uh, I need to do better as a channel to get better revenue in. The goal is $100 a month. We have not cracked $100 a month yet. We've gone to up to 50, I think. But I'm working on it. I'm doing my work. I'm trying to be better. Trying to do better shows. Do better everything. Because that's what we're here for. It doesn't do any good to have a channel if nobody's watching. It doesn't do any good to have a channel if nobody's in the audience. So we're trying to promote our brand, the Old Humble Distilling Company, as producers of fine bourbon and whiskeys. So it helps to have people, and we've crossed the 100 or the 1 million views mark as a channel, which is super duper exciting. We're approaching the 2,500 mark on subscribers. We're approaching all kinds of landmark deals on the channel. We're approaching our 1,000th video, 2,500th subscriber, 1,100,000 views. We've passed 500,000 views for the year. We should get close to 750 for the year this year, which is exciting as hell. It's just like everything. I mean, everything's coming together, and I could not be more appreciative of the support. I am super duper appreciative of the support. Super duper appreciative of um, people coming out and coming live to the distillery, actually being in the distillery. I am working on a midwinter festival, or maybe it's just a winter festival because it'll be like mid December. maybe end of fall. I think that's what it is. The end of fall festival. It's the pre-winter festival. That's what it'll be because it'll be like December 15th. We're looking at the pre-winter festival, which will be 2 or 3 bands over the course of the day. One set, then an hour, then another set, then an hour. So it'll be like 6 hours of a festival, 3 hours of music, and we'll go live for each one of those 3 hours. And maybe do something in between, maybe do a little chat, something in between, a little interview, chit chat, whatever. Working on that, but that'll be members only, members only, members only. Or maybe it'll be public, but only members can. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Haven't decided yet. Anyway, y'all are awesome. I appreciate the support. Thanks for coming by. William, your box is going to be in the mail. Jigs and William both, thanks for being members. Shit, I got 10 more minutes. What else do I want to talk about? We have a mini road show starting next month. About 10 stores over 15 days, if I recall. Where's my calendar? Nope, that's not it. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. So it is in the month of November. September, October, November. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 events over 18 days. Exciting. 10 events over 18 days. 10 tasting events over 18 days. It's fun. It's fun stuff. And they're all local to the Houston area. I'm not being driving all over the state this time. This is all local to Houston. So we're just gonna have a shit ton of fun. We're gonna wheel and deal and sell some whiskey and talk up the whiskey and talk up the brands and talk to people and do all the stuff that we do because I'm a gorgeous man. I am a gorgeous, gorgeous man. Speaking of which, my beard's getting a little gray again. Might have to address that. Maybe I'll turn it blue for a day. What do you think about that? Give me a $25 super chat today and I'll turn my beard blue. I will turn my beard blue before the next live stream, which would be Friday. Yeah. So $25, I turn my beard blue. That's how it goes. For $25, I turn my beard blue. And I hate the color blue. God damn. It just makes me feel weird. Having a blue beard. Ugh. Maybe I'll turn my hair blue too. Just do blue, then like fade it in. Just do blue like around the edge, down to the bottom. Blue up here, and then kind of come down and around, but everything else will be dark. Like fade the dark into blue, and the blue will just come out to a point. Would that be a thing to do? What do you think? $25. 50. Make it 50. Anyway, all right, guys. It really is time to wrap up the show. I'm tired. It's been a long day. I've pumped myself full of coffee, but I'm actually quite exhausted. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, quick math, it's 242 minutes, which is like 4 hours. 242 divided by 60 is 4 hours. Yeah, 22.5 times 11. Who's there? Jigs. Last year, the Bluebeard. Good night, Jigs. You have yourself a great night. I will see y'all again in a couple of days. It'll probably be Friday. Working on the plans for the pre-winter festival. Working on the plans for the pre-winter festival. Probably have 3 bands. I've had some interest from some bands who are interested in playing a pre-winter festival, and we'll probably do something about that. We'll probably do something like that. Playing around with the idea. We'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, continue to be awesome to each other. Continue to drink better whiskey than you did before because life is too short for bad whiskey and too long to do nothing about it. Be a better person tomorrow than you were today. and make the world a better place. Cheers to all of y'all, and good night. This has been an award winning production. Special thanks to Mr. Jiggs and William Hall as associate producers and superfans.